ATLYSS is an AORPG with cute characters, incredible fluid real-time action combat, 6th generation inspired graphics, thick characters, and even poons. I'm going to spend a part of my precious lifespan to talk about all the main features of the game and give you an overview on it.
Just for you, because I like you a lot.
Character creation in ATLYSS is both simple and very deep. You get 5 races: the Imp, Poon, Kobold, Bertle, and Chang. The character creator lets you make whatever character you want, with color sliders controlling skin, hair, and antler colors, along with options for hair, ears, eyes, mouth, and antler type. And of course, there are body proportion sliders, which I'm 90% sure the entire player base will crank up to max immediately. There's also a belly slider if you're into chubby bitches. And if you want your character to wear underwear, you can keep the option selected to do so, along with limiting jiggle physics and character proportion sizes to more reasonable amounts. You can of course make cotton candy characters, and characters that resemble your OC if you're someone into that kind of stuff. There are tons of different combinations that even make specific races like goblins, sharks, and red pandas. It's an awesome character creator, but according to my expertly crafted iceberg, we have to look slightly deeper to notice the entire rest of the game below it, which most barely get to as many don't make it out from the character creation screen alive. The gameplay of ATLYSS is unique, fast-paced, and skill-based. You have extensive options for movement such as dashing in any direction, which can dodge attacks, right-click for blocking an attack, space for jumping, and jumping weapon attacks that send you flying across the map. The game's user interface has clearly defined health, mana, and stamina amounts, along with 6 hotbar slots for abilities and 5 slots for consumable items. You also have a quest log, minimap, in-game clock, party interface, and bag space indicators. There's also a chat that you can use for communication. The gameplay is fluid, fast-paced, challenging, and very fun to play. It's absolutely one of the biggest selling points of this game, and why so many have fallen in love with it. Now let's talk about the classes that you get to play in ATLYSS. There are 3 primary character classes: the Fighter, the Mystic, and the Bandit. Each has a specialized set of abilities that can combo with numerous weapon types, including melee, heavy melee, polearms, scepters, bells, guitars, and ranged bows. By default, the swords, heavy weapons, and polearms belong to the Fighter, the scepters and bells to the Mystic, and the guitars and bows to the Bandit. However, the weapon scaling stat can be changed to either strength, dexterity, or mind with a visit to Vivian, making builds that use different weapon types from their original classes possible, as there are no class restriction to weapons, only armor. Each of the weapon types has unique skill masteries and combat styles that can reflect whichever type of character that you want to make. You get 2 weapon slots you can change between at any time, making numerous builds possible with class and weapon combinations. The gameplay of ATLYSS is supported by the skill system, where you can unlock numerous skills depending on which of the 3 classes you choose. By choosing the Fighter, Mystic, or Bandit, you unlock exclusive skills for each class. The Fighter specializes in melee combat and raw damage, the Mystic with support and magic abilities, and the Bandit with traps and poison. By allocating skill points each level up into skills, you gain stronger and stronger attacks and spells, being able to further increase your damage output. There are also weapon masteries for each type of weapon to gain charge attacks and more depending on what you want to use. You get 6 total hotbar slots for your skills to use at any time. Each level you gain skill points to allocate towards your skill book. I'm sure that there are going to be more class specialization selections further down the levels as the game develops. In ATLYSS, there are currently 4 primary stat attributes, being strength, mind, dexterity, and vitality. Each stat adds more health, magic, and stamina, along with critical strike chance for combat types and more. The stat menu is expansive and shows a lot of capability for further build diversity and scaling that will be possible in the future. And the other effector of stats to your character is gear. In ATLYSS, there is a myriad of weapons and armor to outfit your character with, all reflecting your class-specific attributes and abilities. There is armor for helm, cape, chest piece, leggings, shield, and rings. All the designs are awesome and look badass with tons of rare item qualities to grind for, along with rare cosmetic-only items up for fashion. You can also have the choice between dyes that change the color of your armor, which drop from various places throughout the game. Rarities exist in the form of common, rare, to exotics, and cosmetic to define the quality of stats and rarity of them in the drop table. Your selection of armor will change how your character performs with stat changes, with different class-specific armors to grind for. You can also hide any armor piece at any time, making it possible to just around with your fur out and pretend that clothes don't exist. Or you can even transmogrify any armor that you can equip at any time, along with changing your character appearance. There are tons of miscellaneous items, such as consumables that range from health potions to stamina and magic potions as well. There are also skill scrolls that let you learn skills that you can use with any class. Tons of trade items exist for you to collect and sell to the resident thick-ass opossum Sally at her store by killing enemies throughout the game, allowing you to save up tons of money to gamble with the crack addict behind her store. There are multiple dungeons, plenty of quests, and fun locations to experience in the game, which I won't go into detail spoiling, but are fun and rewarding. With lots of similarities to early 2000s MMO design, there are dungeons with level brackets that you can enter up to with 4 players in an instance, or solo if you'd like to as well. In every dungeon there are enemy encounters, chests with loot, and bosses at the end with unique armor sets and drops to obtain. Characters such as Angela, Sally, and Enoch all give you quests to complete for massive XP bonuses. You can repeat these as many times as you like, and are your main way of gaining large chunks of experience. You can also get unique weapons from completing certain quests. With over a dozen people in a lobby, and up to 4 in a single dungeon, you can hang out with all your friends in a multi-poon experience like no other. Taking on dungeons and beating the shit out of poor helpless slimes in the wilderness with your friends is always a great bonding experience. The game has a cool community to boot, and if you dislike interacting with anybody or just want to hang out with your friends, you can enable private lobbies in the multiplayer options, or you can just play solo. Since the game runs through Steam, you don't need any port forwarding at all. All you need is a non-dogshit internet connection to be the host. You can also use this game as a pretty fun interactive chat room with numerous emote commands. ATLYSS is heavily inspired by early 2000s MMOs such as Final Fantasy XI and other Asian MMOs, with banger music tracks, unique and fun environments, and a day and night cycle with cool zones to explore. ATLYSS also has many small details such as character idle animations, fun taunts to use, memorable character designs, interesting lore, and generally an aesthetic that is hard to find in any other game, with tons of love put into it by the developer over many years. The game is still in early access, and the sole developer Kisef is a talented and awesome guy that I hope continues to develop this game further and keep it a banger for ages to come. Currently, the game is $10, which is the price of a McDonald's Big Mac meal with inflation prices, making it extremely affordable and well worth your money, as a single character playthrough for a new player can take multiple hours, not counting maxing out all the classes and possible items to grind out. Even if the game got more expensive, it probably would still reflect the continued increasing price of the McDonald's Big Mac meal in America. Even if you can't shell out money for the game, you can always download the itch.io version, which is a single-player alpha that lacks many of the Steam release features, but overall captures the gameplay and feel well enough up to level 20 if you'd like to give it a try before you buy. I'll have a link in the description for you if you want that.
Devil may cry.
And if you don't want to let your friends or family know you're pooning around, you can always hide the game on your account at checkout or in your Steam library page. I give this game 10 poons out of 10 poons, and I hope this video sheds some light on one of my favorite indie titles, inspires you to give it a try. And remember, for only $10, you too can try and convince your friends that you are not a furry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.